We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Okay, live on a Saturday. Yes, we were off Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, and Saturday of last week, or this weekend last week. Your boy had COVID. So we are back, and we are picking up on some of the interviews and things that we were not able to get through early in the week. And we have LSU wide receiver Chris Hilton, who is here with us, and he'll be joining us now. Chris, what's going on, man? What's happening?
Nothing much, just chilling.
Just chilling. I love it. I love to hear. Well, let me apologize. It wasn't my intention to catch the Rona last week to not have you on, but we're better now. We got you here, and it's gonna be fun to talk to you, man. How's everything going?
Everything going good. Just taking things one day at a time.
Well, I got to admit, I saw some photos, Chris, of you, and it looks like Coach Flint got y'all out there in that heat. It's hot.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk to Chris Hilton Jr. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share to all their Facebook groups. If you're listening to us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Share. Listen on XM Radio. You're listening to us on the audio podcast platform. Share it. Okay, let's do this very quickly, Chris. Let's talk about our good sponsors over the Drake Williams Law Firm, and then we'll return, and then we'll have a full exclusive with Chris Hilton Jr. from LSU football. By the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vignair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by. Chris, we got a lot of people in here, and Pooh Bear just said Happy Father's Day to everybody part of the Rudy crew. Your dad is somebody that LSU fans came accustomed to. They followed him on Twitter. They followed him, you, your mom, everybody on recruiting. But look, I mean, I know your dad's been not maybe in the same position you have, but you know, on this Father's Day and on this Father's Day weekend, what has your dad meant to you and the transition and bringing you and helping you and guiding you and to the position you're in right now?
For me, he played a big role for me growing up, because like growing up, he told me like everything that he did when he was in high school and in college, and that made me kind of want to be like him, even though it's a different sport. But he kind of like painted the picture for me.
Well, it's interesting. Young men such as yourself and myself, we always kind of want to be like our dads when we grow up, right? Like they're our heroes. And look, he was in a unique situation to be able to help you and guide you to where you are now. We do have a question for you though, and I think it's kind of interesting. We missed it. Oh, here it is from Buster. He says, #ask Chris, what do you think you could jump in a vertical? What do you think you can get up to?
Me personally, not sure. Because, there's a difference between being like a 2-footed jumper and a 1-footed jumper. And like for me, I'm a 1-footed jumper. So running up, jumping, that's kind of like what I do instead of from like a standstill. So it's kind of hard to say.
So what we did see though, okay, and a humble brag to you, I'm going to make you talk about it. You literally tested out this spring and this summer so far as LSU's fastest player. I know that you might not think about it or talk about it. Anybody said anything to you about it, though? I mean, Chris, you got to admit, it's one thing to be very fast. It's another thing to be fast at a school like LSU where there's a lot of fast dudes. You're faster than those guys. What is it like for you, though? I mean, when you see – it's one thing to be able to, know that you're fast, but when the testing and everything coming out,
literally is saying that you're the fastest man on the team. What is that like for you?
For me, I mean, like I've been fast pretty much my whole life, and that's all to my parents. Cause like sometimes I have people ask me, "Oh, like what do you do for like your speed? Like how do you get so fast?" I just tell them it's just genetics. Like I don't really do anything for it.
So it's just all God given.
Yeah.
So I got to admit, do you think or ask, you think you could do some damage in track at LSU or no?
Uh, I feel like I feel like I could help out in a way, just depending on like what they need me to do. But I feel like I could help.
What's your favorite? Is it like the 100, 200 relay? What's the favorite thing you like to run? I mean, I know that you're a big jumper,
Yeah.
but is that your thing? Is the jumping?
Uh, for high school, my main was jumping, but the 400 wasn't bad also.
Why the 400? Why such a longer distance? I mean, because you got a lot of I don't want to say shorter speed, but long speed too. But what was it about the 400?
I don't even know. My dad ran, so
Okay, I got you. I got you. So picking up speaking on Father's Day, picking up when
yeah,
he was putting down. Chris, let's get on the field, man. I mean, look, there's a lot of camps going on. We're getting to see a lot about Cortez Hankton. A lot of the local kids falling in love with wide receivers coach and your position coach Cortez Hankton. Now I know that we've talked about him before.
yeah.
But Cortez is a guy that had to work his way back to Louisiana. He had to work his way back. He's just coming off a national title. From his perspective, though, does he talk about that national title any with you guys from a season ago, or what's that like with him? And do you ask him like what are y'all's conversations like? And not in too much detail, but what are those conversations like that you have with him?
About the national championship, I don't think I've ever heard him mention it like at all. And that's probably because like he doesn't want to like he probably wants to focus on like we have this thing, right? It's called win, which means what's important now. So that's probably what's going through his mind instead of like reliving like what happened in the past. He's worried about like what's going on right now.
So does it change for you though? I mean, look, Mickey Joseph, those guys, the guys that recruited you, amazing coaches. But that's got to put a little bit of a difference, though, that you saw that you have a position coach coming in that just won a national title, though, right? I mean, look, you were being recruited in the process of 19 when LSU was doing amazing things.
Yeah.
What is it like for you? I mean, maybe he doesn't talk about it, but I mean, how does that affect you and what you believe in your growth and how it changes?
For me, it lets me know that I could trust him and like whatever he's telling me, I know it's probably right because like he done been through everything.
Mm-hmm. We have a question here from Buster Tanner again. He says, hashtag ask Chris. What do you think about the new corners you've been going up against lately? Look, we talked to Seven Banks. I know that he's not out there with you guys a lot, but he talks about like he speaks glowing of you guys, you yourself in particular. What's it been like? I mean, going out there this summer, I mean, you got a lot of new guys that you're battling up against. What's that been like for you?
Uh, it's been pretty good. Like that's what you come to LSU for. You come for the competition. The competition makes everybody better. So at the end of the day, uh, we all out there to get better.
Well, it's interesting. The one thing that they played at Stingley, Derek Stingley Jr.'s, when he was getting drafted, speaking of being drafted, that's the sound that you're going to hear, Chris, right before, first overall pick. I'd pick you first overall, Chris. That's all I'm saying. But we saw the videos of Jamar and Derek going battling one-on-one. They weren't showing Derek's highlights, the interception and that in the SEC championship game. It was him versus Jamar. I mean, Chris, at some point, bro, practice has got to be a little bit more difficult than the games, right?
Yeah, because if it's hard in practice, when it comes time for the game, it's gonna be easy, and that's what you really want at the end.
Well, what's interesting is when it is that difficult, right? Like in practice,
Yeah,
it kind of gives you that confidence. Like, all right, dude, there's not another human being that's better than the guy that I'm facing in practice, right?
yeah,
And really and truthfully, Chris, the guys that are third, fourth, fifth string, whatever it may be, they're just as damn talented,
yeah,
right? Like for example, I mean, when you're going up against Mekhi Garner and those guys, they're not going to see. There's probably not a lot of human beings, if any, faster than you that they'll see this season, right? I mean, and that's insane when you think about the talent that you guys have there, and
Yeah.
you know what you're doing there. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Well, look, I got to admit, it's amazing. It's amazing for me to watch it and see it. Oh, but look, Chris, we're counting down less than about or coming up on 2 months, 60 days, coming up on 60 more days before y'all kick. I ask you this every week or every time that we have you, but any more thoughts about getting so close to the season? I know it's hot, but at some point midway through the summer, you just start like, man, we just got to get football season's got to get here. We're in the lull, right? We're in the summer lull. There's not a lot of sports going on. NBA just finished up, just wrapped up. I mean, you got to be chomping at the bit to get out there.
Yeah. Like the best part is like you'll look up, the next thing you know, the season's already here. Like we're going through summer workouts now, then you got fall camp, then boom, the season's here. So it feels like a long time, but it's really not.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't. The Golden Boot Pod says hashtag as Chris, what gets you hype? What excites you for a game? Is there any one thing that you love when you're going into a game that you love and you have to have?
Gets me hype. I'm not really a hype person. Like when it comes like before a game, I'm normally like a chill person, so I'll probably like listen to music or something like that.
So now Mike Jones said that he listens to gospel music, but I don't believe him. You know, like what kind of music are you listening to when you're walking up? You know, during the Tiger Walk, what is Chris listening to?
J. Cole.
Okay. Do you listen to the new Drake album, by the way?
Not yet.
Bro, I ain't trying to disrespect Drake in no kind of way, but dog, I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it's me. But I don't like the new Drake album, bro. I need, for me, it's like I need some I need to get ready to go. But you can't psych yourself out too much, though. You know what I mean? Like you got to be just even keel, and I think that comes with time, though. But don't listen to the new Drake walking in.
All right, I got you. But the exciting part about it, well, the game that we play Southern. I don't know. I forgot.
Yeah,
what
week 2. Yeah, that's week 2.
Yeah, that's one game I can't wait to play because my whole family, they all went to Southern, so I know they all gonna be there in the stadium, whether it be inside the stadium or outside the stadium. I know they're gonna be there.
Chris, ironically that you say that, okay, everybody's ready for that game, right? I mean, Battle of the I mean, you got Southern Band, you have Baton Rouge schools going up against. It's going to be fun. It's glad to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine those Southern's band getting you riled up? Like ready to go.
Yeah, because I grew up watching the band. I'm not even gonna lie. Going to the Southern games, you was there for most people say they go for the game. Most people are there for the band.
Exactly. I mean, look, I ain't gonna lie, but I kind of wanted to play the tuba in Southern's band. I might be the only white dude in there, but hey, I wanted to. I mean, but they're that electric. They're that good. I gotta ask you. I hope I don't get you in trouble. I don't think I will. What you gonna do if the Southern plays neck? LSU gets fined. They can't play it. What would happen if Southern? I mean, because they can't find Southern.
I mean, if they play it, they'll probably go hand in hand. The LSU fans and the Southern fans.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be an electric game, man. It's going to be an electric game. Let me ask you this, and this is a little off subject, and look, I don't mean this to LSU or anything. Do you keep up with the HBCU, like seeing what Deion is doing and how HBCUs are being impacted by coaches like Deion? Do you keep your eyes on that kind of stuff? And maybe it was being changed a little bit when you were in recruiting, but how much do you keep your eyes on what Coach D and them guys are doing?
I mean, it's hard to miss because it's always popping up on the internet, the things that he's doing. But I'm glad he's making a change. That's really good for HBCUs all around the country.
Have you seen Deion getting the funds for their new weight room and their new locker room and stuff? Bro, they have TVs above their locker. I mean, look at y'all's. Nobody can really compete with LSU's locker room is insane. But man, that's great that he was able to do that. I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't go to LSU and putting you in a bad spot. But you would have to take a look at something like that, right? Like if you're in recruiting.
Yeah. That's something you gotta see.
Absolutely. Barrett Granger says, #AskQuits. Which young wide receiver has surprised you the most and could make a splash quicker than expected?
Probably, I'm gonna go with Landon.
Ibieta. Why Landon?
Because he reminds me of myself in a way.
Okay, can you expound on that? Why does he remind you of you?
The jump ball ability. He's also very quick, so he just reminds me of myself.
Now, Chris, we talk about your speed a lot, okay, and you talk about you and Landon being a lot alike, but people don't talk a lot about your route running and your lateral quickness. Is that something that you want to be more known about? I mean, just because of how good of a route runner you are and things like that?
Yeah, because it's definitely something that I had to put in the work for. Like coming out of high school, I wasn't really known as a route runner. I was just considered like raw. So that's something I had to work on.
So do you think that that's the most developed part of your game from high school until now is just running routes, lateral quickness, things like that?
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Chris, last one. We'll get you out of here. What are you working on next? I mean, there's not a lot going on during the summer. I mean, before you know it, me and you'll be talking about the games and how everything went. But for now, it's just you guys working out. Let me ask you this: a lot of LSU camps this week. Were you a part of any of the camps? Were you able to see any of the guys or anything like that?
I went and watched one, and that's because my little brother was there. So I went to go watch him.
How'd your little brother do? Was he mossing dudes in the back of the end zone or what?
I wouldn't say that, but he held his own.
Okay. You gotta put some respect on your little brother's name, man. So he did good. Okay.
Yeah.
What grade is he in?
He's going to the 10th.
Going to the 10th. Okay. What position he play? Wide receiver like yourself?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, would you stay an extra year to play with your brother at LSU if it came down to it? No, come on, man. Oh. I hear you. All right, Chris Hilton Jr., man, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you part. Tell your dad and everybody that we said Happy Father's Day, and you have a good weekend, my man.
All right, you too.
All right, that's LSU wide receiver Chris Hilton. Always fantastic. Dwayne says, I think Southern and LSU band should perform together. I got to be honest. I don't want LSU's band to perform. Sit your ass on the sidelines. Like, I want to see girls twerking on the 50. You know what I mean? Pop that ass, shorty. Let me see what you got. Shake that ass. I mean, I'm just saying. Pooh Bear's going to say I've been dating Keisha's again. Tiger Den Sports says, who's the most physical corner? I think he talked about Mekhi Garner last week. Tiger Den, we had talked about that last week. All right, let's do this. We got a lot we got to talk about. We'll make this a little bit of a good show. And Chris starting that off. We'll definitely do that. But let's pay some bills very quickly. LSU baseball coaching staff. Jay Johnson's looking for a couple of guys to round out his staff. He's got a lot that he's got to do. But let's talk about our good friends over at betonline.ag and our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons. Guys, we'll be back in a minute to discuss.
Our partners over at BetOnline continue to be the number one source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas, casino, and poker games. It's easy to get started, so head on over to their website. Use betonline.ag. Use that promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. That's BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus
on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varnado & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down on the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varnado & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by.
Yeah, we do need to get those likes up. But Doughboy, Beezy, he says Beezy. No, Doughboy says the dancing COVID doll. Hey, man, you can call me what you want, but look, listen. When Pooh Bear, what do they call the Southern girls? I mean, Jagettes. I mean, I don't know what they call them. I mean, they're the Jaguar, Jagettes, Tigerettes, whatever, bro, watch them. They all, the song be playing, but they sit down and they wait and they all do all this dramatic stuff. Bum, 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 ba, da, da. And the girls stand up and they start, doing all that shit. I'm telling you, man. The dancing dolls. I'm telling you. I'm ready. That game's going to be hype, bro. Do you realize the LSU Southern game probably going to be the most hype? Pop locking, dropping it. I swear to God, those girls start pop locking and dropping it. Shit. I hope LSU gets beat. I'm joking. Front row seat. I want to see girls pop locking, dropping it. What y'all getting mad at me for? Shit. Doe Beasy says, you've been, I don't know. I can't get this comment to pull up. You've been paying attention, I see. Well, hey, man. Pooh Bear says, technically, they used to be the dancing dolls. Okay. Well, I don't care what they call. As long as they twerking that ass. Dwayne says, Lil Boosie said, everyone has some ratchet in them. That's true. It's true. Let's do this very quickly. If you missed it, LSU got breaking news. LSU got a recruit today. How about that? If you missed it today, LSU got a commitment from 4-star safety in the 2024 class, Maurice Williams II. I got to say a couple of things, and then I want to get to this baseball staff stuff. We won't be too long here tonight, but we'll talk for a little bit. Again, this kind of just goes to my point, man. This goes to the point of where was this whole thing of Brian Kelly can't recruit? Now the LSU just got another top 65 recruit. And I get that it's in the 2024 class because the 2023 guys are going to pop. They're going to get commits. They're going to get players. They're going to be fine in recruiting. All I heard was all this time was, oh my God, Corey Raymond this, Corey Raymond that. Guys, Corey Raymond's coming in second in his recruiting battles. He's going to get some guys, but he's not coming inside the state of Louisiana and getting any of your dudes. He's not beating LSU for any corners. For Harris was going to LSU because of Corey Raymond. Well, then why in the shit did he not follow him to Florida? See, this whole thing about Brian Kelly can't recruit and this staff can't recruit. Kerry Cooks, quite honestly, is kicking Corey Raymond's ass in recruiting. Let's call it what it is. Kerry Cooks is smacking Corey Raymond's ass in recruiting, no pause. If this were a football score, it'd be 42-0 at the current moment. It would be, man. You got a kid, Derek Williams, from Corey's hometown, not even giving Corey a visit. And y'all all worried about recruiting. You mean to tell me that these recruits, you mean to tell me that these guys that are committing to LSU don't have NIL deals or don't have something going on? There's not something going on with these guys? You're a buffoon if you think that. God, naive, stupidity. Stupidity at its finest and its highest order. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that LSU can go out and get a top 65 recruit, and y'all don't praise the commitment of a recruit. But when something doesn't go your way in recruiting, you pout, moan, and scream like a baby back bia, and you want to continue to run to a microphone and scream that LSU's behind. But when they do something to get a top 65 recruit at a position of need, you don't say a damn thing. Unreal, man. Unreal. The amount of stupidity. Robert Playson says Arkansas putting up Stanford. They're 7-1 in the top of 7. Daniel Glenn says Southern game will be the most little scrimmage. I don't. That's not what that game's is about. LG says Kerry, quote unquote, the chef cooks. Kerry Cooks is waxing Corey at the current moment. You know, when Kerry Cooks was hired, can he recruit? Can he come to the SEC and recruit? Well, all of you should probably be running to Twitter and telling Kerry Cooks you're sorry, because that man's recruited his ass off. He's recruited his ass off. Should probably do the same thing for Robert Steeples. It's the other positions that are quote unquote behind that you didn't worry about. Remember? But the LSU is going to be fine, man. They're going to be fine. And all of a sudden, you got Chris Hilton coming up in this thing talking about how Landon Ibieta and how athletic and good he is. There was only one reason why Landon Ibieta was a 3-star. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with football. And unfortunately, other kids get labeled things because of the color of their skin, white, black, or indifferent. But everybody will celebrate, the things that they want to celebrate and talk about highly and positively the things that they want to talk about. But you got to be able, and you have to look at the realistic nature of things. For once, look at the reality. This is not make-believe land. We're not playing in make-believe land. The panic that some of you share is unrealistically stupid. But you won't talk about a new recruit coming in. Buster Tanner says, any smoke on who LSU will be getting as a pitching coach? We'll talk about that in just a quick second. Lee McCaffrey says, it's the same people said Kelly was a bad pitching coach. We'll talk about that in a second. Ryan Gidry says, bad Corey. Bad baby. Yes. Eric brings up probably the biggest point. Eric Johnson on Facebook. LSU recruits itself, period. You got to do some things, yes. You got to do some things, yes. But LSU is going to recruit itself. Coy Raymond was not the reason those DBs were coming here. He wasn't. LG says, what people don't realize is a lot of these coaches didn't necessarily recruit Louisiana because they knew they couldn't come in here and take them from LSU. We will be A-okay. That's a damn good point. It's a very damn good point from LGZ. LGZ, you need to come up in Twitter Spaces some nights, dog. I know you're on Twitter, but you need to come in those Twitter Spaces. Derek Carlin says, I seen the other day that LSU plays Army in 23. I hope that I can make that game. I didn't see that. Maybe I missed it. Brandon Reese says Williams was a big pickup for BK. Yeah, it's a big pickup. Yes, it's a big pickup. Then you got Amarian Miller that's coming back to camp this week. You got multiple guys coming to camps this week. July is going to be a busy month for them. It's going to be a very busy month for LSU. Colin Jackson's in town. Derek Williams, there's some last week making an unofficial visit on Wednesday to LSU. Jordan Matthews looking really good. Juwan Johnson looking really good. LSU's going to have to go outside the state to get some offense and defensive linemen. Sounds good. But that's the burden that they have. BK's had to do it before. He's going to have to do it again. I think that they're going to be fine. It drives me insane. Dylan Austin says, #Ask Blake, you believe this smoke for Oregon being the leader for Dante? I think it could be. It could be. Definitely could be. I would be surprised if he went out west, but it could be. Oh. Definitely could be. Derek says, I could be wrong, though. I saw it in an article the other day. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, man. I want to talk about this LSU baseball coaching staff, though. And, guys, like I said, we won't go too terribly long. We'll probably wrap it up in another 10 minutes. All right. But, yes, I know, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow or Monday whenever we come back live. So, look, Jason Kelly, the LSU pitching coach for LSU, is becoming the new head coach of Washington. He's been at Washington. He's a West Coast guy. Good for him. Dan Fitzgerald and Jason Kelly are both now head coaches at programs. Good for them. Just shows how good their staff was. And really and truthfully, it's a very big accomplishment for Jay Johnson. He's got two guys that are now head coaches, one in the Big 12 and another in the Pac-12. And let's not act like excuse me, guys. I'm still battling with this stuffy nose and coughing. But let's not act like the Pac guys. I know Stanford's getting beat down right now, but they're not a crappy conference. They're not a horrible conference when it comes to college baseball. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna get a lot of people mad, or some people mad. But with Jason Kelly, the pitching coach, going to Washington, there's legitimately only one coach that I want to hear about. Now, if LSU gets him, great. If they don't, it's whatever. Christian Ostrander, the pitching coach at Southern Miss, is the only person that Jay Johnson needs to be talking to. Guys, he is considered, and for some of you, oh, well, Southern Miss, this. Guys, Southern Miss just shoved it down your ass. No pause. With guys that were considered, and I don't mean this to Tanner Hall any, but leftovers in the state of Louisiana, and he went and recruited him, developed him, and now the kid could arguably be a first-round pick next season. Christian Ostrander is the guy that Jay Johnson has to go after. Are there other great pitching coaches around the country? Sure. Fine. Whatever. But there's not a lot that are better at developing and better at recruiting and getting kids to come to your program than Christian Ostrander. I understand that Southern Miss fans are going to be upset. And I'm with you. But you, to Southern Miss fans, and I love you to death, you're not the prestige at LSU. And I know that you're trying to build something. And you have built something under Scott Berry. But LSU's on a different level here. LSU's going to pay more money. They're going to be able to get better recruits. And does Christian Ostrander's philosophy change now that he would be going to an LSU? I know some have said in the past that Ostrander is worried about some retirement things. Pay that man $750,000 and let's cut it a deal. Pay him $500,000. Let's call it an evening. But you want to be dominant? You want to be dominant? Shit. You go get Christian Ostrander. He's probably one of, if not the best pitching coach in the Southeast. And he's not that far from your campus. Now, I know that Jay is out recruiting, trying to get, talking to kids in the portal and all this kind of stuff and wrapping up his recruiting class. Jay, you better not take long with Ostrander, dog. You better go pick up that phone, call Coach Oz right now, and get the deal done. Bottom line. Chance Babin says LSU does play Army next season and Grambling. How about that? The 318 going to get them cheeks clapped. Ain't that right, Doe Beasy? Speaking of that, I don't mean that disrespectfully to Grambling. I'm just throwing some shade at our Grambling alum in here. Pooh Bear, was that out of line? Is Hugh Jackson going to get them cheeks clapped? All right. Blake's going overboard. Doe Beasy says Sherman Wilson and company are running point guard with Kerry Cooks and Robert Steeples and shooting threes like Chef Curry. They are. Look, Sherman Wilson deserves a lot of credit. Sherman's a dog in recruiting, bro. Just going to let you know. He's a dog in recruiting. Chance Babin also said, do we have two Chance Babins? Does this guy and this guy look the same? One guy seems older. Chance Babin, is that you? But he says, hope Coach Oz would bring some USM arms with him. True. Pooh Bear says, score update, Arkansas up 9-1, top of 7, 2 outs. Jesus, Marion Joseph. I did take Arkansas today. Look, them and Ole Miss, man, hot right now. Sherry Berry. What's up, Sherry? She says, LSU with Ostrander would be something special. Agreed. Eric Johnson says 50K is pocket change for LSU. Yeah, it's pocket change. But look, I'm not going to talk about the hitting coach. I think Jay's going to do that on his own anyway. Who can coach third base, whatever. I think Jay could do it if he absolutely needed to. I'm okay. The pitching staff is what you have to worry about the most. And Coach Oz is that dude. It would be like I mean, he's not a younger guy, but he's not an older guy. He would just be, in a way, it would kind of be like getting a Lane Kiffin type of coach without all the bullshit in the Twitter. Honestly, do not let that man stay at Southern Miss for $150K a year when you can pay him and get him here. Don't do it. He can be a head coach in waiting at Southern Miss. With all due respect, you can go wherever you want if you come to LSU and you prove some shit. I mean, and again, like I said, all respects in the world to Southern Miss. This isn't the prestige isn't there, man. It just isn't. And I like Southern Miss, but come on. LG says you offer Ostrander a contract that he can't refuse. Yeah, you give him $500,000. Say, come on. To be great, you gotta spend the money. Dobesi says, chill out, bro, or watch it, bro. Hey, man. You think Aunt Marshall's gonna get mad at me, Pooh Bear? We're talking about Grandma getting them cheeks clapped. Anyway, Buster Tanner says, have a friend that runs a 7-on-7 out of Atlanta area that came down with some of his players to LSU and said they had the best recruiting team in the country. No, don't say that, Buster. Don't say that, because we're so far behind in NIL. We're so far behind in recruiting. We can't possibly have the best recruiting staff in the country. We just can't. There's no way. All right, we'll pick us back up a little bit tomorrow and Monday, but let's pay these bills right quick. We'll bring in Pooh Bear and let him calm me down about the cheek clapping of Grambling. Sorry about our good friends over at Gramco, and we'll be back in a minute.
Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegramco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegramco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. Gramco is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegramco.com. Use that promo code AYS25.
All right, we got the Pooh Man in here. Pooh, am I think your mic might be muted, but am I out of line by saying Hugh Jackson's going to come down to Baton Rouge and get his cheeks cut? No, that means
hard
no.
to say. Hard to say. Now the Southern Dance Girls, somebody gonna get you. Nobody online is gonna get you. Somebody in your house is gonna get you.
Oh, she don't watch it, but I'll tell it to her face. I swear to God, I want to see him pop, lock, and drop it. Look, I'll watch her if she does it. I mean, look, how do you think she got me? All right, I'm in real trouble. I'm in real trouble. Like I might get shot. I might get shot.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, listen, there's only so much I could do as the assistant to the regional manager. There's only so much I can do to help you. So,
it's a hell of a shirt. Pooh Bear, what you thinking, man? I mean, I got to be honest. There's just not a lot going on. But what are you thinking?
This is an opportunity for, and I don't know if he's going to play it like this, but this might be an opportunity for Jay Johnson to bring in some more coaches, and he can kind of pass the buck on last season to my coaching staff, weren't quite up to par, and not saying that that's the case or that that's what he can do, but optics, saying that might be something.
Hey, Jason Kelly is not a better pitching coach than Christian Ostrander.
No,
it's
not at all.
not. Okay, and I don't care that Jason Kelly's going to Washington. Mm-hmm. I don't give two shits. He's not a better pitching coach, and you got to go do. Look, Jay's going to learn quickly. Like, look, man, you know, and I think there's going to be some pressure on Jay to get this one right, like right, and get some kids in here to do some good things. All right, well, interesting. Yeah. I was a little surprised, though. Chris Hilton Jr. said that Southern was he's really looking forward to that game in week 2 because of all that it means.
I think we all are. We talked with when we talked with Emery on the Golden Boot. That was a game he mentioned that he was looking forward to the Southern. And get this, everybody else, fans wise, we're looking forward to the Southern game for the band and stuff. Ryan is hilarious, by the way. We're looking forward, for the band and stuff. The football players, they aren't going to get to see the band, but they're excited about the atmosphere and they're excited about all their friends being at the game. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, and look, I mean, again, you grow up in a town, and Southern is literally, with all due respect to Southern, they literally are the team, the school on the other side of town, right? I mean, literally from everybody, Pooh. I mean, it's white, black, and different. They are the program on the other side of town, okay? I mean, and that's no shot at any, but you can't be an FC school, okay, or any smaller school, any big school, any big town, and not be the other school. But they have a chance here to walk out with people wanting to follow them. Okay, let me say this. I have never broken down Southern football. Okay, it's just not what we built the platform on. We will now. Okay, and and let me say this: instead of you playing Chattanooga, okay, Chattanooga, I would rather you play the HBCU in your hometown. Okay, and especially that band's playing neck. Okay, because there's something that's known as fan momentum. Okay, and when the fans are doing things, that makes the players and coaches do things, and maybe Southern get your ass hype and ready to roll.
Yeah, couple years ago, outside of the Iron Bowl, One of the biggest games that Auburn had was against Alabama State, which is about 50 miles separation between the two. And that game had, fans from Montgomery, to Auburn and in between coming to that. So, as a matter of fact, Alabama gets a lot of criticism because the only team in the state of Alabama that they play is Auburn, and they don't, I guess you could say spread the wealth throughout the state, and that's kind of a big issue. So, yeah, this is going to be big.
Alabama has played the service schools, which, I mean, but at some point you got to play somebody inside your state.
This is a rabbit hole, and I don't want to go down too far, but I will say this: UAB's football program, as a lot of people know, folded a few years ago. UAB is under Alabama. Alabama could have played UAB. UAB would have got that money, and technically that money would have stayed in house. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, the short man's losing it.
Yeah.
I don't trust a man that eats that many cream pies. I look, y'all can make fun of me all y'all want.
We only know about the cream pies. That never mind. All right, Blake.
You gotta finish. You gotta finish it.
Yeah. I was just gonna say we only know about the cream pies he eats that Lil Debbie made.
True.
I'm not gonna say about. All right, Blake. It was a good one. All
right, great show. I hope nobody hears that. That will definitely get us canceled. All right, guys. We'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.